Hi guys, welcome to OP Talks. You're here with Priv and also my partner.
Key.
Yeah, let's get started. So I'm sure you guys have been wondering, why are these guys making OPScents? Why are these guys suddenly coming out thinking that they're professional smell agents or whatever it may be? Here is where you're going to find out today.
Facts.
I'll start off with me. As some of you guys know, my name is Priv, E-Man, whichever one you know me as. What made me go into scents? I don't know. I just think I get a thrill from just hearing I smell nice. Just joking. But nah, like really and truly, I think what made me go into smells was just, for example, there was times where obviously my cousin would come to my house and I just used to be like, what are you wearing? What are you wearing? And it inspired me to be like, nah, I like the thrill of people asking like, what are you wearing and smelling nice. So I thought, let me start as well. But don't get me wrong, this journey didn't just start just overnight. I did have to go through times of finding my own smell, and I'm sure you guys will be going through that process too, but without saying too much, I just think I just like smelling nice because of the thrill of it. What about you?
I think with me, yeah, and like just creating this brand, I think it's similar to what we always say, bro. Like smelling nice is a part of life. Do you know what I mean? Like I feel like the older you get, you need to start taking care of your hygiene, your self-care, how you're presenting yourself, etc. And I feel as though fragrances is one of the biggest things when it comes to that. Do you know what I mean? And like I always say the story, bro. Like I've always been into scents. You know, my older bro probably introduced me into understanding that, bro. Like you can have a whole collection and da. But I feel as if though the more I progress into becoming someone passionate about it, I feel as if I realized the closest person next to me that loved it and eventually became a mentor was this guy over here, E-Man. Do you know what I mean? So it just made sense, you know what I mean? Or E-Man or Priv. Yeah, they're gonna be
Whichever one, man. Guys, don't worry. Whichever one you feel comfortable with.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? So naturally, yeah, man, that's why we just decided, you know what, we're gonna create a platform, obviously being OPScents, where we just educate as we're learning, as we have also been getting a lot of compliments, etc. And create a platform where people can, you know, understand the importance of fragrance, etc. and just share that passion with you guys. And that segues us onto why we even created OPTalks as well. Now, OPTalks was kind of a last minute idea that I just threw to E-Man. Obviously, he was like, bro, let's run it. I feel as if though the reason why we created it was that we just needed a platform to kind of just demonstrate how much we're passionate about fragrance, hygiene, all this type of stuff. And it's all about where fragrance literally meets culture. There's so many things going on right now, so many things around culture that I feel as if though people don't actually realize that, you know, hygiene, fragrance, it ties into, do you know what I mean? And there's nothing like that over here in the UK. So I said, you know what, let's run that play, you know what I mean? And you guys will be seeing, man, we already had a few episodes recorded here and there. So trust you there. We're loaded, you know what I mean? We're loaded, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. But what, like, in terms of OPTalks, what's your take on it as well? And then obviously just let's run through what we're gonna be giving them as well.
Okay. So yeah, with OPTalks, as he said, it's just something that we just thought about like literally last minute. It wasn't really pre-planned. So don't think this came from months of talking or that. Literally, it was just a few weeks ago. We just said, yeah, let's just start a talk show. Like just invite people on. We can all share our journey within like the fragrance and also share our life stories for other people to learn as well. Because I feel like learning is not capped with age. Neither is it capped with skin color, whatever. I think we can all learn from each other. But yeah, with OPTalks, obviously we talk about fragrance. You'll say your favorite fragrance and all that. But also we like to talk about like real life stuff happening. It can be with religion, with dating, whatever it may be.
Mental health.
Anything literally. But we just want a platform that it's not only just for mandem, not only just for girls, all kinds of people. Literally, like, it doesn't matter if you're black, white, Asian. We encourage all kinds of people to come. Obviously, yes, there is a filter, but as much as there's a filter, there is still some unfiltered in it as well. Now, we're not going to be too like rigid with what we talk about, but at the same time, we like to be guided. But what do you think?
And yeah, man, at the end of the day, we're growing a community here as well. So you guys are going to be definitely giving us ideas through the comments, through interaction. You know, we've been posting clips already and people are already saying, yo, they want to hop on the pod, they want to buy some fragrances, etc. So that's just the main thing, man. We want to show you guys, again, just how hygiene and fragrance meets culture, right? And I think that segues us into just understand, like, I generally believe a lot of, again, what we're men in it. So a lot of men don't take hygiene and fragrance serious, bro. They don't, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me? And it's something like I went to a boys' school, for example, not to throw obviously the man them underneath the bus, etc. But bro, there was times where I'll go into the PE room and bro, people are stinking. They're stinking, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, bro, like, you guys not understand that, bro. You need to take a shower before you leave the crib. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's so many things that I feel as if though the white ends, like I like to refer to them, right? They don't get taught, they don't get, deliberated to. So that's the reason why we're just here to basically just discuss it and understand what's going on. And I feel as if though it isn't until people start touching like 30 that they start taking that stuff serious. Because let's say when you're younger than that, let's be real, you can still pull girls, you know what I mean? When you're in secondary, college, uni, etc. But when you get into the real world, like I didn't go uni, for example, so I've had to be in the real world. Do you get what I'm saying? When you get into the real world, you start realizing that, bro, how you dress is how you're gonna be addressed, and how you basically come across when it comes to your fragrance, when it comes into your hygiene, how you even, trackies versus, for example, what he's wearing, people are gonna address us completely different, you know what I mean? So it's very important, man. But what's your message to the YNs, bro, like, and in terms of fragrance as well?
Personally, I would say, for example, like, there's a lot of people, I'm sure you heard the saying that some people smell like their houses and all that. I remember a funny story, actually. I remember one time I was on the train and I promise you, like, this was an African girl. She was actually smelling jollof rice, and I was thinking, like, did you not think to go and bath or put on some perfume or whatever? And a lot of people, they tend to smell of like food or like stuff that, like, I don't know. For example, as I said, food, or they smell of like nothing. It's like at a certain age, you need to get to a stage of you having a memorable smell, not a memorable smell of food, but a memorable smell of like perfume or scent. It doesn't matter what it is, because like, for example, imagine you're now being approached or you're going to an interview. I'm sure you guys will put on your best perfume, put on your best clothes.
Have to.
So think of it as every day when you wake up, you want to be your best self, innit? And that's what we want to teach our OPScents, to be your best self, not to impress anyone, but just for your satisfaction. And I think that's what we want to teach our OPScents. For example, me wearing my perfume, I don't necessarily do it for compliments, but I do it just to feel good about myself, because once I feel good about myself, it will then translate onto other people that I interact with. But what do you think?
No, Garrett, in fact, a quick question, what was like your first ever fragrance? And to buttress on that as well, when was the first time that people said that, yo, you smell so good, and you actually started to realize that, yo, you have some sort of aura behind, smelling good, you could say?
I would say like later on in secondary school, I actually had a David Beckham perfume, actually. It was an EDT.
Shout out to David Beckham.
It was a David Beckham one, actually.
Imagine getting him on the podcast one day, bro. That would be crazy.
Yeah, I had a David Beckham one, actually. It was an EDT. Obviously, it wasn't as strong, but it did the job that I needed to do in school. Because obviously in secondary school, it's like, you don't need to like have a very strong and potent smell. You just need to have a nice smell. So I had the David Beckham one, and obviously I used to use that on a day-to-day. It was actually gifted to me. So I didn't even buy that perfume as my first one. It was just gifted to me. So I used that during secondary school. And obviously when I got to college, that's when I started going to like Zara to get perfumes. So that's when I migrated into like the Zara perfumes, like Vibrant Leather, Tobacco, all of that. Tobacco 2.0, actually. So those are the two that I was using in college. So then when I started going more deeper into the smells, then I found out more about like the high street ones. But when I first started, I wouldn't say I went straight to the high street ones, because obviously they didn't have the piece like that. So I started off small, and I obviously went to Zara and all that. Then obviously as I got more invested in scents and started to know more about scents, that's when I obviously went to more like niche and high street ones. What about you?
No, Gara, man. I think my first fragrance, I'm gonna be real, I stole one from like my mum, innit? So I can't remember what it was. You know them ones that they probably got on E Street and that, but it smelled good, innit? But when that ran out, the one that I can remember was, I'm giving people out my favorite ever, but it's, have you heard of Aqua di Gio? Yeah, Aqua di Gio. Yeah, bro. Can't lie about it. Because I've never, you see when people are saying Dior Sauvage, it's only last year that I started wearing Dior Sauvage. And I prefer the elixir versus obviously the natural kind of vibe in it. But I didn't want to smell like everyone. I've always been that type of person that says, yo, if everyone's going right, I'm going to go left. It's similar to, for example, like when us, man, because we met through church and music, yeah. When everyone was on the vibe, we're like, oh, I'm gonna learn drums, I'm gonna learn TD, etc. I said, I'm learning keyboard, and you learn keyboard as well. Us, man, wanted to do something completely different. So when everyone was going for Dior Sauvage, I was on the vibe of like, let me bang the Aqua de Jura, etc. And then, bro, the compliments I used to get in that, bro, was ridiculous. You know what I mean? I remember like late, I would say like NCS time, so that's like just after secondary school, and then also like college. That's when it started. That's when the aura points just started to fly of it. You know what I mean? But one thing about myself as well is that I'm gonna be real, I didn't really start even taking care of like, you know, like what you're wearing and your, do you know what I mean? I'm both, you know what I mean? You guys are gonna start to realize I'm just like the simple guy, etc. But even though I wasn't taking care of, you know, my drip and my swag, etc., one thing that people would always say is that like I always smell good. Do you know what I mean? Like my fragrances was always on point, etc. So I guess that helped me out. You know what I mean? So I can't really complain, bro. Cannot complain at all, man. It's crazy. What do you feel like are some common mistakes that people are making when it comes, let's say the man them specifically, because obviously we can't necessarily talk for the ladies right now. We need ladies to be here, innit? So what mistakes are the man them making when it comes to like fragrances and just hygiene just in general?
I feel like, for example, most people when they just take a bath, they'll probably just bath, cream, and maybe put on a bit of like deodorant or antiperspirant. It just depends. And then just go about their day. But there's one bit that you just missed out, which is obviously your perfume or your oil. Because, for example, you can wear deodorant and antiperspirant, but that's got to be on your armpits and all that. And yes, antiperspirant is meant to stop you from sweating, but in some cases, people still sweat through that and like they still smell. And now the antiperspirant and deodorant is now mixed with it. And for example, a lot of people, when they do bath, like, do you wash your armpits, your private areas, obviously for filter, your private areas and all that? That's very important as well. Like, if you wash that very well, then you have less tendency to smell, for example. Because if you wash those areas, especially the areas that you know you're gonna sweat a lot, it's very unlikely that you'll be smelling, because it's those areas that are actually smelling the most. And also with oral hygiene, make sure that you're brushing your teeth a lot, as much as you can. Obviously, they say twice a day, but if you can do it more than twice a day or even floss, that's still good as well.
And scrub your tongue as well.
Yeah, exactly. Please. Scrubbing your tongue is also important, because as much as you want to smell nice with your body, you also want your mouth to also smell nice too. Because let's say, for example, you're approaching somebody, whether that's male or female, and now they've said, okay, cool, this person, they've dressed well, they smell nice, and now you're about to say something, and then they're taken back now that, oh, yeah, this thing's hit me. It can also ruin your chances of even networking. Let's move away from moving to girls, because let's move away from that. But yeah, like, even if you just go for the opportunity, let's say you've been called for an interview, or now you're in a position with like a person that can help you in a higher position, and now yes, you dressed the part, you looked the part, and now you're speaking. I'm not gonna say it's gonna stop you from getting the role or getting an opportunity, but at the same time, they always say first impressions always last the longest. So imagine now you've spoken to them, and then obviously, they've hired you because you have the right qualities, the right abilities, but in their mind, they're like, oof, what was that smell? Like, you don't even remember as that person that had woof, what was that smell? Yeah. Because the next time you might brush your teeth and be clean, but they'll always remember that first time when I met you, you had that smell. So it's very important to just look after your oral hygiene, wash your areas that are sweating and your private areas. Just make sure that you as I said before, you're your best self. Like, because when you wash those areas and it smells nice, you also feel good too. I remember there was a time I even said it to a Kiki. I was like, smell nice for other people to smell, to feel good. So I don't let them like those smell good for other people to feel good. Because for example, imagine like you're smelling good, you feel good. That will also rub onto other people that, when they smell, they're like, ooh, like that guy actually smelled nice, like, or that girl really smelled nice, and it'll also brighten their day. So I think you can also help other people through helping yourself. But that's what I have to say. But off that topic, what do you actually do? Because I don't think everyone knows what you do. Like, what do you do?
I think what I just do in general.
Yeah, like what do you do in general? Because obviously you have OPScents, but like, what do you do outside of this, isn't it?
I think when you said, what do I do? Like, I said, what do I do? Guys, like, no, I'm joking. But anyways, yeah, so Okiki, I'm a music producer, sound engineer, and also I run like a marketing agency. Outside that, I do multiple things in it, but those are the main two things that you could, pertain me to. Music and obviously just business, you could say, and yeah, man. What do you do?
I do quite a lot of things, to be honest. But obviously, the main things of which I'm doing right now, obviously, I have a cleaning business called Casa Cleans. So if you guys need any cleaning services, whether that's commercial, residential, which is also called domestic, just obviously hit me up. I can handle all of that for you, get the cleaners done for you. Obviously, I have OPScents with my brother here. And yeah, like aside those two, those are the main things I'm actually doing right now with just juggling this and my cleaning business. Because obviously, the 9 to 5 thing, it is very good. It is very good. And obviously, I've been in it quite a lot. Actually, aside, obviously, 9 to 5, always have something else. Even though you have that 9 to 5, have something else because there's no such thing as having too much money or having enough money.
Mm-hmm.
So aside, obviously, OPScents and also doing cleaning business, I'm actually an IT engineer. So I used to work in a pharmacy, actually. So I used to work as a pharmaceutical engineer. But now I'm doing more freelance work in IT. So that's another thing that I do. Aside, obviously, that I have a big passion for music. I love music. Like, I play the keyboard, also play the drums.
Who's a famous artist that you played for, bro?
I don't know if they're ready for that one, you know?
Oh, they're ready for it. No.
Well, by the grace of God, obviously, I've been able to share the stage with Ashake, Mr. Money, as you guys know. Yeah, I was able to obviously play with him last year at the O2. So yeah, I had the opportunity to obviously be with people like Ashake, also the composers as well, big up them, because they were also part of that opportunity for me to play for Ashake.
Big up the composers, man.
Yeah, they're doing very, very well. Trust me, very, very well. Especially even their own brand now. Like they're doing shows for themselves now.
Facts.
So talk less of playing behind artists. They're doing their thing now.
Sorry to cut you in, bro. Remember when us, man, because again, just to go into the music thing, yeah, us, man, had like our own band, didn't we?
Yeah.
So,
Majestics.
Yeah, Majestic Day, you know. I feel like we need to bring all the man in here and we need to just discuss what happened there.
That's actually a shout.
That's a shout, isn't it?
Yeah, Dory, we might actually do that one for you guys. We might actually do that one.
So I remember Majestic days, yeah, like, bearing in mind, Majestic was basically, so us, man, we all go to similar type of church, right? So we were all young individuals that just were talented and we all had a passion for music and all had a passion for God, right? So we just decided, okay, let's come together and just do our... I can't lie, bro, we were shutting it down, bro. Those days were insane. Now, some of the man, mostly, they play for Burna Boy, like they're Burna Boy's percussionist now. Yeah. Obviously, you and T, they've played for Ashake.
Lanky T, if you're watching this,
you know what I mean? Shout out to Lanky T, you know what I mean? So you got Lanky T and of course Priv as well. Like them man played on Fuji Vibe,
yeah, for Ashake.
Like you see that, you know what I'm saying? Bro, that's them, man, bro. You know what I'm saying? So we're around great people, and obviously myself. Like I mentioned to you guys earlier, I've always been the opposite person. So when everyone was on a vibe, like, look, I'm going to go down the band route and percussion, etc. I said, I'm going to become a producer. So I've been graced to work with some of the biggest in the world. Like, should I name drop or should I just
give a few, just so you know your XP.
Okay, cool. So some stuff hasn't come out in it, so I can send you demos and prove, etc. But I've been able to work with like Drake, Kodak. Here in the UK, I work with people like Rams, work to people like Eric IV's popping out, Odile, shout out my bro every single time, Gabsy, shout out Gabsy as well, J.O., like all sorts of people, man. Right now, my main artist is, of course, Figzo. He's popping in the underground scene, and trust me, next year, I can't lie, I genuinely believe we're going to take over. Because,
God willing, man.
God willing, bro, because I remember when we first started, we were on the vibe of like, bro, we're going to... I used to always say, bro, him and his brother were the next, you could say, DBE.
Okay, yeah.
And then literally like 3-4 years later, literally as of a couple months ago, Young Ads is now following him. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, bro, the come up is insane. So yeah, man, we do our thing. We do our thing, nonetheless, man. So yeah, man, it's crazy how things just segue and just come together, you know what I mean? So I'm buttressing on what, of course, I'm just going to say E-Man, you know what I mean? Because, you know what I mean? So buttressing on what E-Man said in regards to having multiple hustles as well. we might even create segments where, we're putting you guys onto different hustles and bringing different people, because our network is crazy. Do you know what I mean? We know a lot of people. So outside of fragrance and hygiene, which is a big thing, and the main reason why we're here, we might even just bring on, I know, some accountants that we know, some lawyers that we know, some music managers, some whoever, man. Do you know what I mean? So we'll build it, man. And God willing, as this podcast or this talking space, this talking hub, as it grows, we'll just bring you guys in the journey, man. So I think that the next question I basically have, right, just so that we show them what we're on, right? What is the future plan for like the community for OPScents and also this platform as well? What do we want to actually give them, in the foreseeable future?
Okay, with obviously OPTalks, it is also part of the umbrella of OPScents. So yeah, of course, we'll definitely be talking about fragrance and scents and hygiene. That's definitely going to be there no matter what. But we also want to build we want to get to a stage where it will be a thing of people from all kinds of backgrounds, as I said before, whether you're Black, Asian, white, it doesn't matter, that we can all come together, build a network and build a net worth by God's grace as well.
Amen.
To be able to be the minority can also become the majority, because whether you like it or not, we are the minority, whether you like it or not. Yes, by God's grace, a lot of us are in positions that are good and obviously of wealth, but we are still the minority. So we just want to become the minority that turns into the majority, if that makes sense. Because obviously our skin color is not on our side. Maybe our age is not also on our side, because a lot of people may undermine us because of our age or our skin color. So we just want to be the people to basically flip the script. Let's just be honest. We just want people to flip the script, that when people look down, they'll be able to be like, nah, these guys, they really done their thing. Not only just for us, but also for you guys. That we also want to help you guys build a platform for yourselves, because a lot of people have great ideas, they have great things to say, but they just don't have the platform. So that's why OPTalks came here, that not only to talk about fragrance, but for you to also have a platform to put yourself out there. But yeah, that's where hopefully by God's grace, we'll get to that stage where we can build a platform for everyone, literally. It doesn't matter what skin color you are, where your background is from. Of course, obviously, not everyone will be able to come on a platform, but also by you seeing our platform, it may even inspire you to make your own platform. But yeah, that's where I see OPTalks going to now. What about you?
No, Gara, man, I feel as if though OPScents, building that into just a mad franchise or something like that, because we have, of course, brands out there that do their thing, etc. But it's very rare for you to see, businesses that obviously from people that obviously look like us doing extremely well. And I feel as if though it's not because we can't, it's simply because a lot of people believe it's not possible. A lot of people haven't been given the right infrastructures. A lot of people don't have the business experience as well. And all sorts of limiting beliefs that, again, I'm pretty sure, we mentioned God so many times, man. We serve a God that's limitless, you know what I mean? So naturally, even though obviously we're going to be talking and bantering, and especially me, man, I'm just, you know what I mean? I love laughing and stuff like that. I'm not the typical, kind of vibe, innit? But in saying that, removing all those limiting beliefs, building OPScents into something crazy, what Crept did with Nala's baby, for example, is insane. Do you get it? So if people can basically follow in that suit, then why not? If we can build that, and also just creating a platform, like you said, bringing you guys into our world, and also through bringing you guys into our world, we're just sharing, a community, because I feel like we don't really get communities anymore, right? You know what I mean? Everyone's just in their own individual corner. Eventually, us, man, plan on doing events. I don't know, so many things. But let's not even spoil it for them. You know what I'm saying? But anything that God's behind, will become successful. So us, man, have no doubt. Same way that, bro, I think it was literally a last minute conversation, bro. What do you think about us, man? Not even doing a podcast, but just having the camera on and just yapping.
Yeah, literally.
And then we ran the play, and then you guys are gonna see, we're gonna build this. And build it. And yeah, man. God's backing, man. That's what we got right now. So my people, this is not only our platform, it's your platform as well.
Definitely.
So we're building this community together. As you're watching this video, make sure to subscribe, like, and obviously engage with all of our platforms. Anything that you guys want us to talk about, anything you guys or guests that you guys want to see on here as well, then please just let us know, man. And I think that's basically it, man.
Yeah, but make sure you guys follow us. We have ourselves on TikTok and on Instagram. They're both called OPScents_. So follow that on TikTok. follow that on Instagram, and trust me, we can make a big family, make everything work just through you and us working together. Trust me, we got you if you got us.